Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gotta put some chapstick on. Chapstick, saran wrap, Jello, Kleenex. You know what I mean. Much better. Much better. Alrighty. So, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I begin with checking in with myself. So do the same. I begin with, all right, how am I feeling physically? And I really haven't done this. I'm like, not bad, not bad. Not bad, actually good. That one persona, nice to see you. And Mary and Keno, and everybody who's just kind of tuning in right now. Very cool. So check in with yourself and see how you feel physically. Now, to me, usually when I wake up in the morning, and it's pretty early, usually the thing, as I like to call it, nature's alarm clock. Nature's alarm clock is I have to get up, and I could lay in bed and herkle-durkle, like the Scots say, for like a wicked long time. But then someone's knocking at the door, then I gotta pee, right? So that may be what gets you up out of bed too. But once you get up and out of bed, is anything achy breaky? Are you feeling okay? I'm doing all right. The first words I've uttered out of my mouth today are the ones you've just heard, and my voice feels okay. I don't know, I could get really nitpicky, but nothing's really glaringly horrible. So that's great. So good morning, Becky, and good morning, Oceanana. So checking in with yourself physically at all times, not at all times, but in frequent things. How am I checking? How are you doing? It's what you would do with somebody else. Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Well, physically, I'm feeling okay. Cool. I have myself some water. I have some tea because it's pretty early in the morning. It's 7 a.m. Eastern for me, so it may be that for you. It may be earlier. I like how my hands feel. My little niece and nephew at one point were kind of making fun of Auntie Beth because they said I would walk around with a teacup in my hand because my hands are often cold. So if my hands are cold, I can warm them up on my teacup. But yeah, good morning. Feeling good, okay? If you're not feeling well, what can you do, even right now, 7 a.m., to help yourself feel a little bit better? That's really a little bit better plus a little bit better plus a little bit better is a lot better. But even feeling a little bit better than where you are can feel good. So think about that. What could you do this morning, right now, to feel better? My feet were cold, so I put on some little fuzzy socks. Stuff like that. So it's a good way to start. How are you feeling energetically? What wavelength is your energy on? Now, yay for energy, but if it's kind of a little bit too busy or a little bit too sluggish, it may make it more difficult to do the things you want to do today, to do the things you have to do today. Now, I will share with you an instance clutter related, because since I'm here, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. And here, let me shrink down a little bit so you can see behind me. I've got this little road trip type thing going on here. And I see Mama Pepper and Elle and Spreading Sunshine and Amy. And so good morning to all in my romper room intros. But I like to help you through the journey of life. And I like to help you ideally, especially when the thing that's kind of throwing you out of whack is your clutter in your home. Now, the reason I kind of chose clutter almost as the area in which I really wanted to help people, there's some people, as I said, I'm a certified life coach, which I, did a couple of years ago. And there are people out there who help people with finances and help people with relationships and help children and help weight loss and doing all that. And, there's a little bit of everything in there. But the thing that I knew that made such a difference to me, and I never thought I could change, was my relationship with stuff and my kind of generational clutteriness that I have since changed. Now, so I share this with you because here was something that was pretty interesting to me. And I know there's only this, it's kind of neat because there's a small group of people here on the TikTok Live. And I kind of like it when there's a small group of people because we can have a little convo. But here's something that really, that I thought was kind of insightful. Good morning, Leslie M. and Teresa. So, as many of you know, maybe not all of you because there are some new people here, but so new people. So for the literal, I'm kind of almost not even afraid to look in the rearview mirror and see when my husband and I started this project of getting the basement floor redone. Now, it was easily, I feel like, back in March where we did it, and now it's 20th of May. So it's been going on easily for 2 months. Now I know for sure, now I'm thinking of it, that when I went out to Palm Springs in April, and I think I left like on the 17th or so, that we had to get it all the way through. So even then, it's still been a solid month where they've been working on it, but it's not done yet. So for the last month, unlike many other times when I've been coaching or doing a TikTok Live, my house is a quasi-legitimate cluttered mess. Like you only see a glimpse. You see a glimpse of, it's so funny. The sun is out and the sky is blue. It's beautiful, and so are you. Now, so what I will show you though, is I will show you right here. I will pivot my thing and see this? See all that crap? Right? So that's all sorts of stuff that was in my basement. Now, the thing that I want to share with you, and that one persona, I will totally get to what your comment is in just a sec. But what I want to offer to you is, as I walk through pretty much every single freaking room in my house, with the exception of the bathroom, and maybe in the bathroom, every single room in my house is affected by moving everything out of the basement to make it, to have them work on it. Now, I have clutter blindness. Do you know what clutter blindness is? You probably live with it because it is a self-preservation thing that when you're surrounded by stuff, at a certain point, you don't even notice it anymore. As they would say in Oliver, you consider it part of the furniture. You don't even see it. Now, with regular, traditional, legit clutter, when you don't see it, it doesn't bug you, but when you see it, it probably stresses you out. Now, here was like a little math problem I thought of, was when I have clutter blindness, when I focus at that stuff, I'm like looking at this stuff right now, and it doesn't stress me out. There we go. Rebecca Brunner says, I say it becomes part of the landscape. Same thing. So same things. You don't even see it. It just blends in. But it's there, and it's not really, what you want there. I want to share this with you because I like to work in opposites. So if this stresses you out, experiment with the opposite, making you not stressed. So the thing that doesn't stress me out, the reason I am not stressed out, so I'm working this one backwards. Why am I not really stressed out or, energetically freaked out, engaged, activated by the clutter all around my house? Is because three things maybe. One, I know it's temporary. Two, we have already made the decision when we brought things up from the basement for the most part, that we have decided that these are items we want to keep. We did the declutter prior to or as we were bringing things up. Not to say that there won't be a third declutter as we organize things and put them back down the basement, and especially with my husband's stuff, because I want his stuff to be more organized. So it's temporary. I've made the decision that I want to keep this stuff, and I know that I have a place to put it. Our basement is freaking huge, and in no way or shape or form do we want to fill the whole thing, but I don't have to worry about where am I going to put it. So think about that. Think about if it's temporary, I know I want it and I have a place to put it, makes you less stressed, then the things that may be getting you stressed out about your own clutter are that you're fearing it's permanent, you haven't decided, you're afraid to make a decision if you want to keep it or give it away, or just remove it from your life, and you're fearful that when you decide to keep it, you don't have a home for it. So again, remind yourself, which one feels better, the fear or the lack of stress? So I want to offer that to you. Your clutter is temporary if you want it to be. You can decide whether you want something or not. Now that is it's a process, and you do it kind of category by category, item by item, but it is a process you can learn even if you are not used to making decisions. And the more decisions you make, just like building your muscles at the gym, it gets easier to do those things. And then the final one too is trusting that you have the space for what you want, and keeping the quantity and quality of things that you want. Okay? So clutter is temporary, and you can change it if you want to. And hopefully that thought will get you less stressed about your clutter so that you can do something about it if you want to. So I just thought I'd share that with you as I literally am walking down a hallway that is this big, and it's literally, I have to go sometimes sideways because there are shelves down the whole hallway because we had to move everything out of the basement. So clutter is something that happens to us. You can be decluttered, uncluttered, whatever, not as cluttery for years, and then you have to have something done. You get and things will change. Things will also change again. And that's why it doesn't stress me out. And it is such a saving grace, because this place is ridiculous. If I allowed it to bug me, I would be bugged all the time. So I don't allow it to bug me by saying, this is not permanent. I can change it if I want to. And the basement will be done soon enough. These things will go back to their homes, and it will be like it never happened. If anything, it's going to be better because, man, I'm getting somebody to help me clean this house. Help us clean the house. After this is done, because it's just a mess. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, that one persona is asking for me to chime in on getting the mundane done when my novelty-seeking brain wants to declutter elsewhere. Help! For example, doing dishes versus decluttering a closet. Now, I love that. I like to think of this. Our brains are all wired different, but I think a balanced breakfast has both something sweet and something healthy. I think that it can be cool to hang around and be, really involved in something, and also just kind of being there and being vague. So I want to offer that your novelty-seeking brain will also appreciate the rest that doing the mundane stuff will give it. And the neat thing is your novelty-seeking brain can also seek novelty while you are doing something mundane. Now, I'm not a brain surgeon or a brain, expert in any means, but I know myself, so I will offer it to you. When I am doing a mundane task, so I am thinking immediately of doing the dishes. And that's what you said, doing the dishes versus decluttering a closet. The part of my brain that gets my body and my eyes to move and do the dishes is a different part of my brain than that seeks novelty. So when my mundane brain, and I like a rhyme, so I am just offering this as a way to think about it, because this is what I'm thinking, is your mundane brain likes routine, likes rhythm, likes pattern, likes seeing befores and afters, likes maybe that kind of, oh, this is nice, this is getting something better. Maybe likes seeing a nice, a fork without the egg yolk on it. And, oh, this is really nice. I just literally, as I was waiting for my tea, getting the water spots off of the shiny faucet, which I should never have bought a shiny faucet to begin with. But there is another part of your brain that would appreciate of the rest from the novelty-seeking one. Imagine being with your novelty-seeking friend all the time. Oh my God, let's do this. Let's novelty. It can be exhausting. But what I want to offer to you too is Both things can happen, just not at the same time. They can happen on the same day, that one persona. So saying to your novelty-seeking brain, yes, we can go seek novelty, let me just do the dishes right now. Because the mundane things, I know that has some sort of earthly origin if I was to look up the word. The mundane stuff has its value in your life. The mundane stuff gives you clean dishes, clean clothes, clean, like a pleasant living environment is really oftentimes maintained by the mundane. It's not insane in the membrane, it's maintained by the mundane, right? So think about it, vacuuming, dusting, cleaning, folding, putting away the laundry. All of those things, even surface area clutter, surface area decluttering, I would actually categorize for the most part under mundane because decisions don't have to be made. It's not a back and forth. It's just, this is what I do. So allow your brain to have a rest and allow your brain to go seek novelty. You can do the both of them. Does that help? Now, if you're used to always wanting to run and get some sugary treat, or, not deal with oh, that's boring, I don't want to do the boring thing. But the boring thing also, remind yourself, it's kind of like, now this is going to be so, like, if you're an accountant or somebody with a mundane job, do not get me wrong, but think about the dating world. I don't know, I haven't dated in decades. But like hanging out with somebody who's always on and funny and zing and let's go climb a mountain, let's go zoom down the street, let's do this, let's do that. That can have its place. But also in your life, you are benefited by hanging out with the guy in the khakis and the button down who's quiet, who gets things done quietly in the background, who makes it easier for you to get things done. I was seriously thinking of this yesterday, no lie, that balance between like the creative and the mundane, it's the yin yang of getting stuff done. I have said for decades that I think the best combo would be for a business school to be built next to an art school, because both of those brain types benefit from the others. They cross-pollinate. And this happens in the cross-pollination of your own brain. So instead of looking at things as mundane and boring, see the value. See what you get out of doing the mundane stuff. Yeah, okay, so you say, I don't want to do the boring thing, but I'm also married to an IT computer guy. Okay, so let's get specific about decluttering. Like you say the dishes, I would ask you, so if the dishes is something, I don't want to do this. I get it. So what is the thought that stops you from doing the dishes? I would get curious about that. What stops you from doing the dishes? Now, I will agree, it's not exactly exciting. So doing the process itself is not exactly exciting in some of these more mundane tasks. For me, however, and so maybe for you too, instead of focusing on kind of how boring the task is, focus on the destination. Focus on what's in it for you. What is the benefit of you doing that boring thing? And we can rewire our brains to take the drama, the dread out of the chores, right? Yeah, the end result, says Pam the dog lady. The destination is your end result. Do I like doing the dishes? Not particularly. Do I avoid it for a couple of days? Sure. But what I like seeing a clean, empty sink. I woke up this morning, frankly, and the sink was mostly empty. My husband put the dishes in the dishwasher because that's his chore, and I empty it out. I like seeing a clean surface. I feel good when I can go pull a freshly laundered, nicely folded towel off of the heap and dry off my body. So that one persona, this is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered, because it really reminds me, what's in it for me? What's the destination? Why am I doing it? Yes, and you're completely right. That one persona. I remember talking to a friend of mine and she says, a closet decluttered has an end. Dishes seem to be never ending. And I want to assure you, you are correct. You are correct. There are things we do in life that are cyclical. To everything, turn, turn, turn. Ooh. Maybe not singing so much in the morning, but yes, there are routines. There are things you do. So instead of saying, oh, they'll never get done, be cool with that. Be like, yeah, you're right. You know what? Very pattern matchy of you. There are things in your life. Laundry goes in a cycle. Dishes go in a cycle. Your, it's been so while. Your period is in a cycle. There are seasons. It's the season for things. So if you are getting frustrated by it seems to never end, you're going to be frustrated a lot because you want something to be finite that is infinite. And the dishes are not going to change unless you suddenly just assign somebody else to do it or pay somebody else to do it. So instead of railing at something that is cyclical, oh, I can't believe it's getting sunny out later, damn it, I hate, change how you feel about the process. Right, the meme is true that the sink is only empty 5 seconds of the week. Enjoy that 5 seconds then. Then also say to yourself, how can I get the sink empty for 10 seconds? How can I get the sink empty longer? I like an empty sink, so you know what I do? I'll share this with you, that one persona. I change my habits. I say this is temporary. The dishes in the sink are temporary, but also I have changed my habits. So for example, our sink is empty for the most part today. There's literally a little frying pan, eyes as black as frying pans, and a lid and a fork in there. Now, when I go to eat my cereal this morning at some point after decluttering and whatnot, or, doing all my stuff, instead of adding my dishes to the sink, I will put my one spoon and my one bowl into the dishwasher. Now, as I say that, I realize, wait, I have to do my part. So what I will also do to make the sink less cluttered, is I will take my time, which takes all of about 5 minutes, to empty the dishwasher and put the clean dishes away so that I can immediately, after I'm done, rinse off my spoon and my dish and put it into the dishwasher. User 4211 says, I wash dishes as I'm cooking. Notice what I was saying too. Okay, Baby Cake says, I hate dishes, but I have to do them. I'm the only one in my house that does everything, lol. Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack there. Notice the hate. You guys, there are things that are worth hate in the world. Abuse of children and animals comes to mind. Abuse of those who do not have power. That is something worth hating. Dishes in your sink, you may not like them, but I don't think they deserve hate. Those dishes, think about it. Bring those dishes to life. Those dishes served you well. They made it easier for you to eat your food, and now they are temporarily dirty, so they're not worthy of going back into the cupboards. But they're sitting there just hoping somebody's going to wash them because they want to be worthy tools to help you eat again. Now notice, you have to do the dishes. How about I get to do the dishes because I have dishes to do? I'm not eating. Imagine one day where you don't use your dishes at all. Play that game with yourself to appreciate the fact that you even have dishes. The other thing is too, Baby Cakes. I'm the only one in my house that does everything. Why the hell is that? Now I say why the hell, that's a bit dramatic, but I would get curious. Hey, wait a minute. Am I the one doing everything over here, yet you're all benefiting from it? No, if it were me, and this is how I coach, just so you know, I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We are changing that. Because decluttering is a life skill. Everybody on the planet benefits from knowing how and taking care of their own stuff, being responsible for your own stuff, and being responsible, doing your part in maintaining the communal household. You benefit from somebody else's work and somebody else benefits from yours is a lot more of a better approach than everybody else lays around and mom does everything. That's my approach. That's how I coach. Okay. So yeah, and Wild Cooper is saying, Copper is saying that is such a helpful perspective shift because you will not change unless you hire a maid. Hire a maid, pay somebody else to do your dishes, then you don't have to do them. Other than that even when the maid does the dishes, it is a cycle. So you can rail against the cycle, or you can change it, or you can change how you feel about it. And changing your perspective on the things you hate is going to be, and I'm just talking like, let me rewind because I'm getting a little bit too global. I'm going to focus down just on dishes. There are certain cycles that you cannot change. The seasons, and I'm thinking basically like laundry and dishes and vacuuming and dusting, let's say. Those are things that need to be done in regular intervals because you do it and it does not stick, and it's not supposed to. You dust and then dust falls. You vacuum and then somebody tracks mud on the floor. So there are things that are mundane tasks, but you gain a benefit from doing it. And you gain something from doing that. You gain a dust-free zone. You get to look and appreciate at a vacuumed rug. Your dishes will last longer when you wash them. I don't know. You know? Thank God for dirty dishes. They have a tale to tell. While other folks go hungry, I'm eating rather well. Yeah. And look, it rhymes. It was probably on a little trivet, right? Be happy and thankful that your sink works and be able to do the dishes. And I love it. Wild Copper says, I am the cleaning lady. I started my own business. Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah. What I'm offering to you, that one persona, is this. You're going to spend a lot of energy that you don't need to spend, and I'm spinning. Spend a lot of energy that you could use on something else. When I do the dishes, my creative brain goes elsewhere. My body and part of my brain, my dishwasher level brain, is there doing the dishes. It's doing its thing, and my brain is planning a trip to the Azores. My brain is solving problems. My dopamine-seeking creative brain can be doing that as I'm doing the dishes. So my creative brain gets that dopamine and gets that that problem solving done as I'm also walking around doing the mundane things. And sometimes moving my body and doing the mundane things allows my brain to think of things differently. Okay? So I hope that helps. It really is going to be, in my mind it has been, so I just offer this to you in case it works, is really looking at how you think and feel about the dishes, and changing how you think about it will change how you feel about it. And Leslie, 100%, Leslie, sometimes the feelings we have about the mundane are really connected to deeper, bigger things. Hell to the yeah. Yeah, that's why I say notice what you think about it. That's what I started with that one persona. What is the thought that you have that gets you not wanting to do the dishes? Yeah, we're not happy about the bigger stuff, so the little stuff gets us. Yeah. Well, because you know what? You're allowed to vocalize your unhappiness with the smaller things. And notice the people you connect with. The fact that there is a meme about the dishes means that I'm not the only one who feels this way. But if you feel something deeply, you may be afraid to vocalize it. But also even the things that you may have a resentment about dishes because I'm the only one who does the dishes. Or it could be a resentment, a deep resentment from decades ago. Oh my gosh, I am doing my chores. I've always had to do the dishes. This is so unfair. I want to go do something fun. I don't want to do my chores. It can be the little kid behind you. I too have that little kid. I don't want to do the dishes. So I'm okay with letting them go. I also know when I say to my husband, hey, we have to do the dishes, I remind him that he participates in it too. Yeah, resentment. Resenting being the only person who does the stuff in the house. Don't blame the dishes for the way that your system is set up. The dishes are just little guys who are just trying to help you. Can you imagine me drinking my tea without my mug? Hey, mug, thank you for holding my tea. I know you're going to get like a little brown ring around you, and then I'm going to take a little sponge and I'm going to clean you up, and so we can hang out together, okay? Make friends with your dishes. Your dishes are not the bad guys. I would say your thoughts about the dishes and your thoughts about the process of dishing. Dishing? Yo, I'm going to dish. I'm going to spill the tea. Yeah, and dwelling on the dishes too long makes them bigger. Yes, when you avoid it, it piles up. And what do we talk about? How to get shit done? Chunking it down. Good morning, Judy. Nice to see you. So chunk it down. Do the dishes. Do with a load of dishes. That's a chunk. And then the next time, and here's the thing, the next time you make a dirty dish, because we're not perfect, if you're blaming somebody else for all the dirty dishes and I am the one and I'm the victim, who's the victim? You are participating in it. If you put a dirty dish in the sink and you don't immediately clean it or put it in the dishwasher, you also are doing what other people in your house are doing. If you avoid it for days on end, you are allowing it to grow up. And I mean the pile of dishes. So notice your participation in the process of getting the dishes filled in the sink. Now, the funny thing is, I'll be honest with you, it's been a half an hour and we've spent a really long time talking about doing the dishes, which really is a surface level task. Surface level to me means do not even engage your brain, your head, or your heart in it. Just do it. Do not even waste your thoughts or your energy. Think of something else while you're doing it. Conserve your energy for the good stuff. So really turn down the hate and just make it a thing you do. There is power in not being energetically tormented by something. There's another word I want to use, but I can't think what it is. Energetically activated by something. There is power in not letting something bug you and just doing it. It is a great feeling, especially when you have been bugged by something in the past. But notice, this is still all surface level stuff. The surface level gives you a benefit. It allows you the space then to do other things. And doing other things is usually stored clutter. Stored clutter is when the real decluttering happens, people, because that is decision making. Do I want it or do I not? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, how do I get rid of it? Like Mimi is saying, I resell and I'm a crafter. My crafts have spilled from the sunroom to the dining room out of control. What first? I would offer this is decluttering. Now I know we just met Mimi, so I'm just being a little bit goofy. But this is my brain saying, I don't know, let me think of this problem. So I'm picturing a sunroom full of craft supplies. And then I'm seeing it spilling out into the dining room. What I would probably do for me is I would start with, now in case Mimi, we haven't met, so let me just tell you some of the tools I use so that you can use them too and you can know what I'm talking about. Is 3 levels of clutter. You've got surface, stored, and sentimental. You also, surface clutter is going to be the stuff you know immediately you do not want, that you don't even have to engage in a decision-making process. You know you don't want it. So first of all, if you want all the stuff that is spilled from the sunroom to the dining room, get it out of the dining room, put it back in the sunroom immediately. My thought is, because it is spilled out, is that you are running out of space in the sunroom. And so therefore you have kind of oozed into the dining room. So what about this? How about taking a look at what are the craft supplies I'm not currently using? Do I really need all of those? If the answer is yes, okay. Can I then, if I really am truly using these for my craft business, how can I store them in a different way to give me more room so I do not ooze out of the room? But I'm going to bet you anybody, especially if it's cluttered, that there are things that are in your crafting room that you are not actively using to craft. Now, I'm not saying immediately throw those away, because there could be good stuff there, but say to yourself, why am I not using these, and do I want to use them again? Do I want to do those crafts, or have I moved on? Have I been satiated? Am I good with, I don't want to do mosaics anymore. My thing now is knitting. If that's the case, that's okay. We all go through seasons, again, cycles. So notice this. Notice that you may have a thing that you loved to do for a while and now you're kind of done with it. Now, here's the funny thing. Now, this also, Mimi is saying, I just hate to get rid of good stuff. So notice, it's a thought in your head. I'm getting rid of good stuff. And also, Jane Wilson is saying, tossing so much good stuff, I want to be free. You guys, have you never donated someplace in your life? Have you never? Are you throwing this stuff in the trash? Jane, are you throwing stuff in the trash, or are you putting it in a donation bag and donating it? Okay, so here's funny. Mimi is saying yes and no, I don't know what it is. Mimi, if you could write a sentence, have you donated stuff before? And say, yes, I have donated stuff before, or no, I have not donated stuff before. Okay? Donating is a good stuff. Okay, donating, people. Donation. Do. The word do is in there. Donation. Donation. I'm making shit up. But what I want to offer to you is, donating good stuff is a good thing. Donating good stuff is a good thing. You are not getting rid of it. It should not be. I'm curious as to why it feels bad for you to donate something. Now, I would be kind of more aligned if you said, I have something that was brand new and I threw it directly into the trash heap. Right into the trash bin. Okay? What you may be feeling, however, is this. Again, it's going to be thoughts in your head that are making you feel uncomfortable about doing it and are feeling not good. So, Mimi, that's you and Jane. If you've donated stuff. Donations can take some time. Donations also, or just getting rid of stuff, also means that you paid money for something and you didn't use it. That's okay. It's going to happen. Okay? Yeah, I also donate, but Goodwill has problems. Everybody's got problems, Jane. Now, I say this lovingly because I know that Goodwill makes money off of my donations. I'm okay with that. If you don't like to donate to Goodwill, where else in your community could you donate that would make you feel better? Now, see, this is where we get to the interesting things that are below the surface. What if I want or need it again? Okay? What is your answer to that? So I would say, and notice, this is going to be a thought process. And if you're not used to thinking, then it could be difficult. But what I want to do is lead you through this. So think of something, and this is where we go from like craft items and all the things, very general topics, and we get more specific. So I want each and every one of you to imagine an object that you are currently struggling with what to do with. Should I stay or should I go? Decluttering. Or like, for example, so Mimi, what is something that you haven't used in a while in your craft room that's taking up space, that's getting in the way of the craft project stuff you use now? And saying to yourself, well, if I think I might need it in the future, that's what I thought back then in the past. What if I need this someday? When's the last time I used this? And listen for the answer. My God, I haven't used that in years. Okay. Interesting. I've held on to this for years and I have not used it. If I've held on to it for years and haven't used it, is it possible that I may never use it again? Yeah. When I look at that, do I want to do that craft? And notice, this is a lot of thinking and feeling. This is how I coach, but this is how I get stuff done. So I offer this thought process to you. Hey, no. I thought I was going to do a lot more mosaics, and I did a couple, and they were fun, but I'm done. I'm good. I don't have to do another mosaic. Okay. So, if you don't want to do another mosaic in the future, how about donating those mosaic craft supplies to someplace that somebody might want to do them? Somebody else can have that fun that you did at the beginning of the process. Yeah, but notice there are There are places to donate things and you can feel good. There are ways that you can remove items from your house and your life and not feel bad about it. But it takes thoughts and feelings to walk yourself through this process. If you don't walk through this process, you're gonna stress yourself out. Okay? So I hope to see that. And I see a lot of comments, so I'm going to try to go through these. Again, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I show up and do these TikTok lives quite often. I will do one tomorrow, but then I'm off the digital grid, as I like to say, until next week. If you want to know when I'm going to be on, I also do YouTube live. So you have 2 hours a day almost that I am often at your service to help you with the things you're struggling with clutter-wise. Okay? So I love it. Mama Pepper is sharing photos of stuff with her kids and they don't want things and then they feel good about letting go. Yeah? Now, so I'm going to back up here. See what I got? Jane Wilson. Okay, yeah, we put it out on the street with free signs. I love that. That's good stuff. That should feel good. Okay? This is really good. I love it. Shelby Miles calls herself a redistribution center. I love that. Kind of like the cat. Yeah, it comes to me and I find a good home for it. But you know what I don't find? Here's the thing. I'm backing up and the comments are a pain in the butt to sometimes go through. So I apologize if I'm not kind of getting back to everybody here. So Nurse Mama, you said a really interesting word in your thing. Trying to find the perfect place to donate is clutter in my mind. Yes, perfection. We do not like perfection here. Perfection stops you. It clutters your mind. Where is the perfect place to do it? No. So I just donate to Goodwill because I don't have the mental space for that. Yeah. Now, Lynn is saying, and this is the thing, clutter doesn't just affect how your house looks. Clutter affects your pocketbook. I've had it in storage for 20 years and I'm paying monthly. Yeah. I love it that Joe's is saying, I started donating things with clothes that have tags to organizations that give to local churches, high schools, and nursing homes. That made me feel much better about getting rid of stuff. You know? So yeah, nursing homes, after school programs, boys and girls clubs, churches, so many other places other than Goodwill that you can donate your abundance. Yes, donations make good things affordable to some or those who will use those things and give them life. Yeah. So Mimi is saying, okay, so go in the mass in the sunroom and look at things I haven't used and donate. Yes, that will create space for the things that have, it's going to turn into a math problem then. You remove something from a shelf, you now have room for something you want. And that's what decluttering is all about, Charlie Brown. It really is about getting rid of what you don't want to make space for what you do. And what you wanted back in the day can be different from what you want now. Okay? Now, participate in it. Yes, so many good ideas here in the comments. So I highly suggest you take a look at all these different ways that you can do this. Yeah. There are so many ways. But just think, everybody, just think. We know of so many good places that you can feel good donating. But if you have like just a crossed wire in your head that donating is getting rid of and getting rid of means not having and what if I need it, the end place almost is secondary because you're still hung up back here about feeling bad about letting go of something that you once had. So notice that. There are so many ways that you could bless the world with your abundance. And here's the really interesting thing about clutter. Clutter is not the stuff you use. Clutter is not the good stuff that you like in 2025. Clutter is the stuff you used to use and you don't use it anymore. Clutter is the stuff you used to like and you're not really liking it anymore. Clutter is the stuff that's getting in the way. If you liked it, you would feel good about keeping it and there would be no tension. I gotta find that piece of rope. Where did I put it? Whatever. Tension. You don't like something, you let it go, no big deal. You like something, you keep it, no big deal. Tension is created when there is resistance on both sides. See, pretend this is a rope and we're playing like tug of war. I want to let it go. No, I'm afraid to let it go. You'll feel better when you let. No, I don't want to. You're playing tug of war. So notice the tug of war. So what's the tug that's keeping you to want to keep it? Write those thoughts down. Get some insight into how your brain works. What is causing me to struggle to keep this? Write it down. Get some insight. What is the part that's saying, let it go, let it go, let it go, like the little girls sing and the colored girls sing, do, 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 do. Yeah, Mimi says, and I knew this, just hearing it from somebody. Yeah. That's a neat thing about the way we declutter here. And I say we because it's not just me. Look at everybody participating in the comments. Look at everybody participating in the comments. We're all here because we all struggle with clutter, and we all know kind of what to do. I love it. Kat Roby is kicking ass. She's down to 168 emails. Rock on, my friend. But you're not alone if you struggle with clutter. Now, maybe many of us struggle with clutter because we feel alone and we feel embarrassed and ashamed to admit to our friends we have clutter and you don't know what to do with it. Pardon me. But when you are not embarrassed and you share what you're struggling with, help comes out of the woodwork to help you. Okay? And this is a really good message too. When you realize you're struggling with something, ask for help. Embarrassment is a feeling that many of us have or ideally had that stops us from asking for help. That implies that everybody else has got their shit together and I'm embarrassed because I have a problem. No. So, Mimi, let me help you with this too, because since we don't know each other, okay? Because you don't know these things that I don't want to go immediately into. We'll just do this. So I like to think of things like this. First of all, I talk about things as a road trip with two other passengers in the car with you. You're the driver. You've got a backseat driver and you've got your co-pilot in the car, okay? Backseat driver is fear, and fear is what stops you from asking for help. Fear, so then we kind of say, okay, on the one side we have fear, on the other side we have love. Love is in the front seat, in the co-pilot. But the backseat driver is fear, and fear, under that general heading of fear, are a lot more other words, and one of them is embarrassment, shame, judgment, hate. Again, I always go back to fear. But so when you're embarrassed, it's a feeling that stops you from doing something. Stops you. Now, the anonymity of the internet can be great. The connection from the internet can be great. Because I can connect with you and I don't really know who you are. And you don't really know who I am. So sometimes getting help from somebody you don't know can be much better than trying to get help from people you do know. Because sometimes people you know don't have the best help. So isn't this cool? We were able to connect. But just what I would love to kind of leave you with is that concept of opposites, tension between fear and love. Fear keeps you stuck. Love gets you going. Love is curiosity. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love's not a jerk. Love's not an asshole. Okay, remember they said that at church when people get married? Love is not a pain in the ass. Love is curiosity and patience and fun and light and more love and joy. All that is the opposite of when you're stuck. When you get going, it's a lot of that. And you can get to that place from realizing what's getting you stuck. If you don't know why you're stuck on the side of the road, you're just going to keep on spinning your wheels doing what you know how to do. When you realize it has nothing to do with that at all, it's because of something completely different. But if all you know how to do is put your foot on the gas, you're going to spin your wheels. When you call somebody who knows more about what else to do, like the AAA guy comes and says, oh, yeah, no, not only are you digging yourself deeper into the mud here by doing the same thing over and over again, really you're stuck here because your car has a flat tire on two sides. So let's put some air in that tire, and now where you hit the gas, you're more likely to move back onto the road towards where you're going. This is how I coach, okay? This is what I do. I love what I do. I have fun with it. This is why every day of my life with my one-on-one coaching, which I got to keep an eye because I've got that, with my videos and all that, I truly enjoy what I do because you know why? I wish I had heard this stuff from somebody decades ago. I really do. Now, I love my life where it is right now. I would not change it for a thing, but it took me a long time to get here, and I am so grateful that I am here. But man, there are some skills that I wish I learned earlier in my life that I didn't. So I show up to be like, you guys, I'm here and it's awesome. Let me turn back and help you get here easier than I did. Okay? So this is why I show up. If you like what you hear, I highly recommend. I have a free mailing list. I don't send out a lot of emails, but the mailing list really gives you access to a hidden page on my website that shows you the schedule of when I show up so that you can tune in to this show and get some help and ask more questions when it's live. Now, when I'm not around, like I travel tomorrow, actually tomorrow morning I did add some to my schedule because I'm awesome like that, even though I'm leaving at like 2 p.m. for an international trip. When I come back from my international trip, I show up again. Now, during the time that I'm not here live, you guys, there are now officially over 700 videos, free, public, to watch, to listen to, a recording. Like, so for example, Mimi, I'll just offer this to you. This TikTok live that we're doing right now at 7:51 in the morning on March 20th. Is it the 20th? Yeah. In the morning. This will be downloaded from TikTok and uploaded as a recording to my Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. So you can re-listen to this. Listen to it like a podcast. You rarely need to watch the screen. I usually am just pointing at stuff and talking about one side or the other, and you might be able to get the gist. But you can listen to this as you're doing a mundane task. You can do this, seriously, that one persona. Pop on one of my recordings and do the dishes. Pop one of these recordings on and listen to it like a podcast while you're folding the laundry, while you are doing it. Your brain will be occupied and your body will just be cleaning the house. So this is what I do. Now, W. Blower says, I need physical help to arrange stuff. Okay, this is the neat thing about decluttering. Decluttering is up here and in here. It has nothing. The moving of the things with your hands comes after that. So if you need physical help to arrange stuff, there's help out there that can help you do that. Neighbors, friends, somebody you pay, a volunteer. Somebody else can do the moving, but you have to do the most important part, which is the decision making. And to me, notice again where I'm pointing my hand is going from my head to my heart, from my heart to my hand. The yin and yang, the crunchy and the smooth. When your head and your heart are involved in your decision making, that's when the good stuff happens. Okay? Now, interesting. Okay, I see some things. Jennifer says, my husband will feel good when he removes or throws out all my things in a particular area of the house, but gets mad if I say anything. Okay, that sounds like a concerning relationship. Now, I'm not a relationship coach, but notice, if he throws out all your things, that is disrespectful. So I would be curious about that. Why is he feeling like he has the right to throw away your things? Now, I'm not a relationship coach, though I do live in a loving marriage. It hasn't always been that way. I had a crappy marriage the first time, so I know the difference. And part of a good relationship is respect and love. Respect, okay? So that's another word. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, right? Sock it to me. Who sang it like that? It was a TV show. And I'm being silly, but I'm being serious at the same time. This is me, silly and serious. Respect is on the side of love. Disrespect is on the side of fear. So I would get curious about that. Is he throwing away his own stuff? So I highly recommend you learn more about that part. Okay? Now, here's a good thing. Okay, so Jennifer S. Okay, sorry. I'm scrolling up on the comments here. Okay, so here's the deal. Your calendar says you are full. How can I see you? The calendar, let me be really clear about this. I guess I wasn't clear, so let me do this. On my website, on the homepage, is a place, if you scroll down the bottom, it says join. Joining the mailing list gets you an email that gets you a link to a hidden page. If you go to my website right now, you will not find the TV guide page. You will not find the page for the members of the email list. But if you sign up for the mailing list, you get an email with a link to that hidden page. The calendar you see right now, let me be very clear about that, and I should probably change some of that today. The calendar is I also do one-on-one coaching. Now, my calendar is currently empty because I'm going away on a trip, and I have no consultations available. The calendar is for consultations, but what was I going to do right here? But if you sign up at my mailing list, and my website is destinationdecluttered.com, I probably also forgot to mention that too, because I'm a human. So I currently don't see anybody who has signed up for the mailing list. So, Jennifer, go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. And I say Jennifer, but anybody who wants to join the mailing list. Many people who I see right now, because I recognize the names, are already on the mailing list. Go to destinationdecluttered.com. I'll walk you through it. I'm going to do it myself. Okay? When you get to that homepage, you're going to see a little picture of me sitting there with my computer. Just scroll past all that stuff, and it says, want to jumpstart? Join the Destination Decluttered members-only email list and get all this stuff. Then there's two things. You put in your email address, and you prove you're not a robot. Then you hit join, and then boom, you're on the mailing list. Ideally, what should happen is you get an automatic email that has a link to the hidden page. Now, since you've never gotten an email from me, Beth at Destination Decluttered, your computer might think it's spam, so check your spam filters. If you sign up and you look at all your filters and you still didn't get the automatic email, email me directly, Beth at destinationdecluttered.com. I can take a look at my email provider and see if somehow you got caught in my spam filters. Okay? So Jennifer, thank you for letting me know that the information I gave you wasn't sufficient and allowing me the opportunity to elaborate. Do you have any more questions about that? If you do, please put them in the comments. If not, hopefully I gave you all the info you need to get on the mailing list. Okay? Now, thank you, Judy is saying, you're great what I do. So thankful I found you. You helped me with my clutter in my house and in my mind. I love it. And I love it. User 1688 says, I get more done while listening to you versus on my own. Great. I'm here all the time and there's 700 videos. I will always be with you. And the neat thing is that what I hope to always be with you is because I am giving you better things to think about than you've thought about before. Different words to put in your head than you had before. And if they feel good, if you feel good, then you do good. Okay? I think it was laughing. No, was that? Yeah. Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me. I got to think of that. It was like the church lady or something. Yeah, and Pam, the dog lady, thank you. I will have a wonderful trip. I will share this with you. This is going to be kind of fun. Oh, there we go. Leslie M. says, I used a video last night. It's Beth on demand. Now, the funny thing is, I don't mind if you demand those videos. If you demanded me live, it depends on who's demanding, how much I like you. But yeah, there are 700. There are years worth of videos. Think of that. 700 hours is like, and they're not all hour-long videos, but a lot of them are. So let's say that's 2 years worth. It's a video a day for 2 years that never would repeat. Okay? So that's why I put them there. And they're free, and I want you to listen to them. They are there. If you are struggling with clutter, there is help out there. Gen X Shelly B, long-time listener, first-time caller, right? Thank you so much for your help. You're welcome. I love showing up to help with something that people struggle with that I know I can help with. I can help you with this. I am good at this, and I truly enjoy what I do. I can't always say I've been like that in my life, but right now I love what I do, and I'm here to help you. So just even knowing that there's help available, that you're not alone, I think is a pretty good feeling. Walking through your doing dishes, going into your craft room today, saying, I'm not the only one who struggles with clutter. I am telling you, it is an epidemic, I can almost guarantee. Okay? You're definitely a blessing, sister. You're welcome. Well, you know what? You deserve a blessing. The universe provided me. Okay? I love it. Kat Roby is now down to 144 emails. Love listening and luxuriating in this task of email. Luxuriating. Now, I would love to luxuriate with you guys in this hot tub of fun that we have going on, but I have one-on-one coaching to do. I have yoga to do. I do have, just so you know, because I also do lives on YouTube. When you go to the YouTube channel, you're going to see that. I have a YouTube live at 11 a.m. Eastern, so in just a couple hours. I'm taking a break, and then I'm coming in at 11. So if you like what you've heard, Mimi, I offer this to you. Why don't you go and do the stuff you know how to do that we talked about in your craft room today, and then at 11, check in on the live on the YouTube channel and let me know how you're doing. If you're struggling with something, I will be there again to help you with it. Okay? There we go. Becky R68 says, you turned around my day for the positive yesterday. Be gone, worry. I love it. Thank you for letting me know how much I've helped. Now go and use this help, okay? I'll see you all in a few hours on YouTube, okay? Bye.